Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Gyökeres has officially landed in London. The medical will be done tomorrow and he'll finally be an Arsenal player after this very long wait. And who's next after him? Probably Eze. We have an update from Chris Wheatley, and from all the updates we've been getting over the last couple of days on Eze, it looks very likely that after this Gyökeres signing is confirmed, Eze is the guy that you're going to be pushing for. So that is excellent news, man. With Eze in that team as well, I cannot wait, man. That would be absolutely fantastic. So Viktor Gyökeres has arrived in London with his agent ahead of his Arsenal medical. So here's the plane. Obviously, we got the pictures from Fabrizio early on, and then this is the plane after landing a couple of hours ago in London. There is Viktor Gyökeres walking towards to meet Andrea Bata. I'm sure that is Andrea Bata is just hugged there, and then meeting the rest of the Arsenal team. I guess the cameraman will probably see this particular video on Arsenal's vlogs. They usually release this in the vlogs, and then there he is meeting the rest of the Arsenal staff, and then with his agent, obviously, and then getting into the car and heading to the Sober Reality Training Center and to undergo his medical. Or actually, I don't know. I think he's going to do first part of the medical today, according to Ben Jacobs, and then the second part of it, majority of the medical tomorrow. So he's now in London. That is fantastic news. We've been, worried about when is he going to be doing his medical. Is he going to be in Singapore? Is he going to be in London, in Spain? Is it going to happen this week? Are we going to have to wait next week? Now, we know that he's not going to play against Newcastle on Sunday, but he should be ready to play against Tottenham on Thursday in Hong Kong. Interested to see whether he's going to be traveling to Singapore to watch that game against Newcastle after the medical tomorrow, or will he just go directly to Hong Kong and wait for the rest of the team and get down to business, guys? We finally have a striker after this long wait. In case you missed the earlier videos, David Dunstan confirmed that he will be wearing the number 14 shirt, the iconic Thierry Henry shirt. I don't know if they knew Jesus might leave, because we've also heard that Jesus might actually be sold. Andrea Bat is looking at a possibility of selling him. So will they change to 9? But I do have a feeling he wants that number 14. It's a historic number, an iconic number. And if you come to us and you score a bunch of goals like Thierry Henry did, like Aubameyang did, and if he guides us to, the trophies that you want, you automatically become a legend. As of now, this guy's almost already a legend at Arsenal. The way he's been pushing for a move, the way he rejected Man United, the way he's given up his own money, his agent has given up his own money. Even after it looked like it was going to be complicated for Arsenal, he still said, no, it's not Arsenal's fault, it's Sporting's fault. I want to leave. Let me leave. I do not want to wait this whole time. I'm wasting my time here. It's been absolutely fantastic, man, seeing that. And even the time he wanted Sesko more than him, it still looked like he was not giving up. He wanted this move. It's his dream move, and he's finally getting it, man. He's finally getting it, and we're finally going to have a striker who can score 20 plus goals. That is part of the add-ons. If he scores 20 goals, Sporting are going to get 500k, and then the next 20 goals he scores after that, they're going to get another 500k. So if they do get that 1 million this year, which means he would have scored 40 plus goals, that means he's had a very, very good season. So I cannot wait for him to get started. When he passes the medical, that first training session, that first video we're going to watch of him training with the rest of the team, that first pass from Saka, that first through ball from Odegaard, that first cross to Trossard or Martinelli, all of that is going to hit very different, man. I cannot wait for how he's going to settle in at Arsenal and how much of a good player is going to be. For me, I wanted Gyökeres since last year, and I'm very confident he's going to hit the ground running for us. Doesn't matter if he was playing in Portugal. I am very confident with how he's going to perform at Arsenal, and I'm expecting him to, help us score those goals that we need. So, is it just going to be Odegaard passing him the ball? Is it just going to be Saka passing him the ball? Is it just going to be Declan Rice passing him the ball? Or will we have Eberechi Eze as well at Arsenal passing the ball to Viktor Gyökeres? That would be exciting, right? That would be very, very exciting. Now, according to Miguel Delaney, he says Arsenal are aiming to swiftly move to secure Eberechi Eze once the deal for Viktor Gyökeres is complete. Arsenal are Eze's top choice, and those close to the player are confident a deal will be done in the next few weeks. He goes on to say Arsenal are hoping to agree a fee that comes to £60 million rather than the reported 68 million, although on terms that are also Let me read that again. Rather than this reported 68 million, although on terms that are also amendable to Crystal Palace, with suggestions that both clubs will be flexible. Arsenal's preference would be to sell a player before they move on to the Eze deal, but it is understood that the signing is not contingent on that. There is also a possibility Reece Nelson could be included in any deal. So first part of that, Arsenal is aiming to swiftly move to Eberechi Eze once the Gyökeres deal is done. So we didn't expect the Eze deal to be done like middle of July or anything, because we knew we were trying to finalize the Gyökeres deal. We were still trying to finalize the Mosquera deal. At that point, we were still trying to finalize the Madueke deal. We were still trying to, finish the Nwaneri new contract and give him a new contract. There was still a lot that we were trying to do. Now, with all of that done already, and we've done it so quickly by 26th of July, all of that is done. Now we have clearance to go and get Eberechi Eze. Now, will that happen after the sales of players like Fabio Vieira? I don't know, because we were told Arsenal actually have enough money to even go for Isaac. So maybe we don't actually need to sell players before buying Eze. Maybe you can buy Eze and then proceed to sell players. That would be perfect. That is what I would want us to do. Get Eze through the door, get him here before the Emirates Cup, and then after that, we can start selling players. Or right around that, you can continue selling players. Arsenal are hoping to agree a fee of around 60 million. That was mentioned before, that we were trying to get it for like 60 million and then the 8 million in add-ons, but the 60 million we are trying to get it in installments. So 20 million, 20 million, 20 million, and then 8 million in add-ons. And then there was also the suggestion of Arsenal trying to negotiate it down to 50 million. There was also another report saying Arsenal are trying to give them players so that that can drop down to like 40 million. Josh Nichols was mentioned. They mentioned that they wanted Trossard, but now Reece Nelson is also being mentioned. So Reece Nelson is a big target for Fulham. Fulham are trying to sign him, but as we speak, Fulham also trying to get Dewsbury Hall from Chelsea. I heard they're also trying to get Sterling from Chelsea. So is Nelson really their first target, or just looking at him as an option? They have other options to go for. Could be that could be the case. It doesn't really have to be that they are going for only Reece Nelson, especially if they don't have enough money and Arsenal decide that they don't want Reece Nelson like to be out on loan. They want to sell him permanently. They could try to finalize this deal and maybe try to give him to Crystal Palace, or wait for Fulham to give us the whole fee, selling fee, and not a loan deal. So it's up to Crystal Palace to decide whether they're willing to give us this player in installments. So we are hoping to negotiate it. Now, I'm very confident with how Andrea Bata has moved so far. So getting the Eze deal through the door, I am very confident it can happen. Now, we ended up getting Zubimendi for 55 million on installments. One of the most sought after midfielders, wanted by Real Madrid, wanted by Liverpool. We ended up getting him on in installments. On top of that, we ended up pursuing Valencia to move from 20 million pounds all the way down to 13 million pounds plus add-ons, plus 4 million in add-ons for Mosquera, a player who they were trying to offer a new contract. He didn't sign, and we got him for 7 million less than what we'd have paid for him. At the beginning of the transfer window, it was quoted that Nogard would be sold for like 40 million for Brentford. We ended up getting him for 10 million plus 2 million in add-ons for an experienced player. That is a very good deal. Managed to get Kepa for only 5 million. He's already showed us that he can be a very, very good backup for us, saving 3 penalties against AC Milan in the other friendly. Viktor Gyökeres, these guys were saying they want 8 million at the beginning, and then even in terms of the add-ons, they said no, this is how we want the add-ons in terms of games. We've managed to change that to goals for one of them. If Gyökeres scores this particular number of goals, we are going to give you extra money. So we've managed to negotiate that down as well to get the Gyökeres deal done. So far, Andrea Bata and all his connections and the rest of the board as well, they've done an excellent job with all the deals. So that is why I'm going into the Eze deal confident as well that we can be able to get it done. Arsenal's preference would be to sell a player before they move on to the Eze deal, but it is understood the signing is not contingent on that. There is also a possibility Reece Nelson could be included in the deal. So London club, let's see if he would like to go there. That also has to be an option, that he actually wants to go there, and he doesn't really like a must go to Fulham. He doesn't really look at the Fulham move like the only one that you should make. You can just go across to South London or down to South London to play for Crystal Palace. Now, that is what is hard to say on that one. Miguel Delaney, sorry. And then there was also, so in terms of his article, if I can read for you guys, Miguel Delaney's article on Eberechi Eze, he says Arsenal are aiming to swiftly move to secure Crystal Palace's Eze once the deal for Sporting's Viktor Gyökeres is complete. The Independent understands the Swede is currently in London for his medical, allowing Arsenal to turn their attention to other targets. Mikel Arteta's side, Eze's top choice, as has previously been reported by The Independent. Those close to the player confident a deal will be done in the next few weeks. Arsenal are hoping to agree a fee that comes to £60 million rather than reported 68 million clause, although on terms that are also amenable to Palace. Although there has not yet been any formal contact between the two clubs, the suggestions are both will be flexible amid good relations between the two boardrooms. It goes on to say the Independent has previously reported that Arsenal were constructing a deal that they hoped could be split into 3 installments of 20 million each, as I've told you guys, and that is what was reported at the beginning. That is what we're trying to get done. Arsenal's preference would be to sell a player before they move on to Eze, but it is understood that the signing is not contingent on that, and there's a possibility Reece Nelson could be included in the deal. So that is what the article has had to say about the situation with Eze. Looks like we're going to push for him because Fabrizio confirmed that we are looking at an attacking midfield, and Ez is the one that we're looking at. I think Ben Jacobs and Sammy Mockbell both say that, yeah, we are looking at Javi Simons, but it's going to be Ez that, we are trying to get fast, not really Javi Simons. And this one as well from Football Transfers, they say that Arsenal go all in for Eberechi Eze as initial fee agreed. So for them, they're actually saying that the initial fee has been agreed. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but what I know is that Eze has already said yes to Arsenal. He wants to join Arsenal. He's already told his friends that he's going to join Arsenal. So all that is great. Looking very good to get this deal done. Things are looking exciting. Let's see how quickly we can, move on to this one and how quickly we can get it done. Actually, Eze has just played tonight. Crystal Palace have won 3-0, and Eze has scored a goal in that game a couple of hours ago. So he's been playing. He's keeping himself fit. So let's hope he will be joining Arsenal. So that's the latest. Let's see if we can get all these deals done. That would be absolutely perfect. That would be close to a 10 out of 10 transfer window. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.